The Galactic Empire was the oldest and most dominant force in the known universe. Its reach spanned 1,000 systems and 100 species, its fleets unmatched and its arrogance unchallenged. For centuries, no enemy had dared to confront it. Until Earth arrived. They weren't invited into the galactic stage, they forced their way in. No formal diplomacy, no respect for the hierarchy, and certainly no hesitation to challenge the Empire's authority. Humanity was late to the game, but when they showed up, they didn't come quietly. High Lord Vyrek of the Imperial Fleet stood aboard the bridge of the dreadnought Valkyrian, his 12 crimson eyes locked onto the tactical display. A swarm of human ships had just breached the outer rim of Sector Yalthakar. Imperial scouts had fallen silent. The humans were moving with a precision that made his subcommanders nervous. They are fewer than anticipated, Admiral Karthist, a scaled creature of the Arket species. Only 6 capital vessels. Their technology must be primitive should we even deploy the main fleet. Vyrek narrowed his eyes. Yes. They've ignored our warnings. Bring the Hammer fleet to formation. Show them the Empire does not tolerate disrespect. From the void, the might of the Empire materialized, 300 warships bristling with plasma lances, singularity torpedoes, and shields that had deflected moons in past wars. No one had survived such a display of power. And then the humans responded. On the holoscreen, a human battleship moved forward, sleek, black, and angular. Unlike Imperial designs, it bore no glowing lights or visible weapon ports. It looked like a blade cutting through reality itself. A single message transmitted across the system carried in a calm, male voice. To the Empire, you brought fleets. We brought physics. Commander Reyes, UNS Oblivion. Vyrek scoffed. Empty threats. The Oblivion vanished. Not cloaked, gone. A second later, half the Imperial front line disintegrated into expanding clouds of glowing debris. No weapons fired. No detectable energy signature. Just destruction. What happened? Admiral Karth barked, his claws scraping the floor. Quantum displacement? Guessed a sensor officer, trembling. Or a gravity-fold weapon. But that's impossible. The Oblivion reappeared behind the remaining fleet, accompanied by 5 other human ships, each one different, each one terrifying. The Titan's Mercy, a dreadnought the size of a small moon, unleashed kinetic rods traveling at relativistic speeds. They didn't explode. They simply erased whatever they touched. One rod hit the Imperial flagship Threxelin. No fire, no smoke, just a hole where the ship had been. They're using mass-based weapons, shouted another officer. Outdated, but how? They're not outdated, Vyrek whispered. They're just efficient. The humans weren't fighting fair. They didn't follow the protocols, the sacred traditions of fleet engagement. They didn't send champions. They didn't wait. They calculated. And then they laughed. A message came through again, this time from a live human feed. Commander Reyes was seated calmly on his bridge, sipping coffee. You thought numbers made you strong. We thought math made you faster. You developed shields to stop energy. We made weapons that ignored shields. You wanted us to kneel. We decided to run simulations. 900,000 of them. We won in all of them. Vyrek's scales turned gray in fear. Never had he heard such cold confidence. You can't win, he growled at the screen. We are the Empire. Reyes chuckled. Exactly. That's why we left. The Valkyrian began to shudder. From across the void, a single human drone entered its gravity well. It emitted no signal, no power, just a small orb. Then time slowed. To the crew, everything distorted. Systems froze. Biologicals fell unconscious. Weapons ceased functioning. The Valkyrian, the most advanced vessel in the Empire, was turned into a floating tomb in less than 12 seconds. Only Vyrek remained, kept conscious by his ceremonial neural core. On the screen, Reyes gave him one last look. Your empire ran on tradition. Ours ran on adaptation. You studied war for centuries. We innovated war in decades. The screen went black. The rest of the Imperial fleet surrendered. Not because they were outgunned, they didn't even understand how they'd lost. The humans didn't just bring firepower, they brought the full might of a species that had clawed its way from extinction dozens of times. They didn't worship war, they optimized it. The Empire's elite command was captured. Entire sectors switched allegiance out of fear. No war was declared. No planets were scorched. It was simply a demonstration. The humans called it the Laughter War. Because when the might of the Empire stared into the abyss of human ingenuity, humanity just laughed.